Hello, Chloe. 1 second. I am working on everything. Everything and nothing at the same time. What am I even looking for at this point? Oh, never mind. Okay, let me just hit the dashboard, and there we go. Okay, let me switch scenes, and we shall, get into it. There we go. Hello everyone. Welcome to today's stream of Danganronpa, or Ronpa. We are gonna go into what's it called? Wait, I don't have this already on. We're going into the trial today to see who killed Taka and Hifumi. So it should be a good little time and whatnot. Today also, just for a fun little thing, we're gonna have two different streams. So we're gonna have this one where we complete chapter 3 and go on. And then later today, like I'm thinking around probably like 7 p.m. PST, we do a little bit of Minecraft, just for fun, you know, put some dang beats on in the background and just chill while I mine and start a new world. So let's just get right into it.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial.
Alright, the best part is
your
I
votes
don't have
will
to read
determine the
unless it's
results.
Negi's thoughts.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one...
Tell you right now, Chloe, Monokuma's voice in the dub was so bad. This is so much
I'll
better.
punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Why am I disconnected from the
Now
chat?
then,
What?
to begin
Lamau?
with...
Oh, there we go. Okay. I was disconnected from the chat, so I didn't see anything.
We already know who did it.
So that's a big oof by me.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't.
There's only a
Someone
few
knocked me
that
out.
were
I was
alright.
asleep the whole time.
Like
I don't
Negi's,
know anything about
Hina's,
it.
Kyoko's, they're pretty spot on.
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling.
It's always compelling.
It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know. I don't know.
Poor Hiro. He's dumb, 21. Just like me. Is Hiro really our killer, or for anything else? We have to make that clear. We do. Make your argument. Oh, it's because his penmanship.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No, just hold on a second.
I'd have to use the truth thing. I mean, look at the blueprints and handwriting. It's awful messy. Oh, okay. So
Everything
I
we
guess.
found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
Is it this? It can't be. It can't be this. Oh, it is.
No, that's wrong.
It just doesn't seem right at all. Why didn't that seem right?
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
No?
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro's innocent as well.
What?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course he passed it off to me. Why is it always to Makoto?
Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
Doesn't make sense to me. The suspicious individual in question. It was Hiro. It was him.
Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been.
It couldn't be Junko.
Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there
Junko
can be
won't
no
come.
doubt.
Come much
Hiro
later.
is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense.
I can agree
You
with that.
just
His
said
voice
Hiro
acting
didn't do it.
is pretty good. Hiro, yeah, he's the guy with the messy hair,
makes
like the
perfect
huge messy
sense.
hair. He's the fortune-telling
Hiro was the
dude.
suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do.
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
I don't know. I don't know what Genocide Jill's tongue does. It's just ridiculously long.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
What was a blue tarp? Oh, Jesus, okay. So it had to be, where is it?
I got it!
There's only one thing. The thing that was used to move Taka's body, they must have been... Wait, didn't I just... Oh. And then the blue tarp.
I got it!
Okay.
They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
Definitely Jill's. Definitely Jill's. What's with that attitude?
Let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository.
The repository?
And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly.
So did the dolly.
Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely
You
positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
It's not.
She's raised an
It's
objection.
wrong.
How do you respond?
Yep,
There
you're
is
just
no
a
shame in
weirdo.
being wrong. Nobody
Nobody
expects
expects
much
that
from you anyway.
Wow.
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
The fuck? Wow. I never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. Maybe I could change her mind. Burn her? Oh, if I can't explain, the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room, the repository. The new element has been added. Oh my god, there's another element. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we are going to add one more ingredient to this recipe. On the bottom screen, underneath the tempo marker, you will see your ammo count. Up to now, there hasn't been really a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. But for now on, just locking on and pressing the Y button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked you are on you are. Oh my god. However, you can reload by pressing the X button. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the X button in time with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember that the X button now has a function along with the... Oh my god. You'll automatically reload at the start of... Oh, we're already in one of these? But if you're... I think this is in gentle. I don't know. I think it might be in kinda, actually. I don't know. I probably want to have it like that in the next game. Why does it...
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch.
Oh my god.
I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree.
Don't say that
You
to
are a
me.
fool.
This is...
Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
Jeez. Yeah, she is. That was a lot harder than it
If you're
needed to
asking
be.
for proof that the dolly moved,
I hate
I
rhythm
have it right
typings.
here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark
I have no rhythm, by
that
the way.
matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jesus, Celeste really hate me that
Well,
much.
anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then... what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
Not really.
I'd be happy to explain why
Not
the
yet.
occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
It's impossible to... If I look at how the body was moved, it would be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does it mean by that? He just can't bend over, because the suit's like, locks up, you can't really move in it. Let me believe. No, I can't let you believe. Oh my god. Okay.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
I knew it.
No, that's wrong.
So good.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
Oh yeah, she's blind and bad. You can't see if you had all surprising or anything. I'm telling you, it was. Not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist.
When you're in that suit,
Can't bend at all.
not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
You have to be super strong to
When
do
you
that.
can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance the costume was just taken off to move the body because, can't take it off by yourself.
I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you
I don't know this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help. Why would you make something you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make the stupid freaking thing. The claps on the back that's keeping it from getting off, or for keeping it from getting off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off your own. I don't really have we don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo-Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo-Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
Yes, I'm pretty sure she does. That guy hit me. What guy? Robot Justice, that's why I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's gotta be right.
You know, stop being
Hold
gold
on
so
a
gold.
second.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides,
Good job,
there's no
Kiri.
hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility?
She most likely does, Evie.
Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
Shut up, Jill.
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
We don't need to talk.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the 2nd floor. And soon after that...
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was walking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
And then...
Huh? What was that? It came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Ugh.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body has disappeared. Yes.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Of course not.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them.
Oh.
Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradiction hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them, no matter what. Why does it have to be Makoto? Why does it have to be him? Just a young, lucky boy.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Oh, I would have thought it would have been that one.
Shoot! So, regarding Taka's death,
I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Or was it?
So,
No, it
regarding
wasn't.
Taka's death,
That doesn't
I
seem
wonder
right.
if he died before Hifumi.
Or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the
Justice Hammers.
So I have to take.
Shoot!
Do I have to take one of these?
So, regarding Taka,
I don't remember what button it was. Was it A?
I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi
Oh, I
was
missed
killed
it.
with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death
Came from a swing.
See? So it's obvious Taka came.
So I'm pretty sure I have to take.
Regarding Taka's,
I wonder if we, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
Or do I have to take the
Makes
numbering?
you say that?
Because of the numbering of the
Justice Hammers.
Let's see. Okay, so it was this.
No,
Okay.
that's wrong.
See, look at it. Big brain, guys. Big brain.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
The evidence that proves that Taka was killed before Hifumi. There's something that relates what time he must have been died. His watch. Oh, Hangman's Gambit, my favorite. Okay. S. And then we need a W. A. Oh. A. C. And then we need an H.
Now I understand.
I understand everything. Because I have such a big brain to comprehend
I got
everything
it.
here.
Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
it must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer, because as of last night...
Dude, how long are you gonna be make us keep us waiting? I don't know why I can't read. Taka's irritated voice, yes. It's almost 9 o'clock. You know that. Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
that simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
Oof.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
I think I remember who kills Hifumi, actually. If I remember correctly.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together.
Oh, I thought she was done.
Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how.
How?
In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true.
Obvious. I know how.
We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
we could have not been gone for a minute or two, though. So when the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in such a short amount of time, it would seem so...
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the 3rd in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
Makes perfect sense.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another...
I don't think it has
No, you don't get to
anything
say the word
do with
ghost.
the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office?
Nope.
But simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
It isn't possible.
The idea of Hifumi's still alive, is that really possible? It is. There's a lot of evidence that shows for it. How does that help me?
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Okay, I know what I need to do. Okay, I know what I need to do.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance you...
No. It is Hifumi was dead.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announced. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
That just hurt me, like,
Are
internally.
You saying that when we first found there's a chance
He was actually...
No. It is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery and
Hifumi's dead body had been found.
And that is why the
Are we really so... Maybe the announcement
was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
That should be right.
Shoot!
That should have been right.
Are you
really
saying that
the...
when we first found him, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No. It is impossible.
Oh, okay. I think I know what I need to do.
Surely you heard the body, Hifumi's dead body, and that is...
Are we really... Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Okay, we got what we needed. Because I'm just a dumb person.
Are you saying that when we first there's a
chance he was actually...
No. It is impossible. Hifumi was dead.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovered.
Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No,
there we go. I just feel so dumb. My big brain just like shut off.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if two bodies had been found, there really should have been two announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again.
Oh.
If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
It was.
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
It's like a disaster. The first time we played, we found each body in the nurse's office and equipment room. Then the second one was when both bodies were rediscovered.
We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the two bodies.
Oh yeah! Ding dong, the body has been discovered. A certain amount of time, blah blah blah. Class trial will begin. Something, something,
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
Oh.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
Repository!
And that's just part of it.
I don't
There's
know
one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom! That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Oh yeah, there's a few things that actually prove that he was still
Let's take another look
alive.
at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There's proof that shows if he was still alive. I have to find out and show it to everyone. Yeah. Oh. There's plenty of proof if you watched yesterday's stream.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved...
fixed your sleep schedule, that's all I have to say.
Other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
No, that's wrong.
Please fix your... Please.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to feel the rest
And maybe
of us
actually play Final Fantasy with me. Chloe, if you're still here, when are you going to start playing Final Fantasy?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless.
Don't believe the Eevee. Eevee's a bully.
And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
The evidence was found. Oh yeah, it's no. Oh no, no. Okay. Whew. I thought I just messed up there.
I got it.
Yeah, you are.
It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was... Princess Piggles. From Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
Who knows, Eevee? Who knows?
So what you're saying is... what exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true.
I do, and I won't tell you.
The blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
And it must have been him, right?
I'm not a bully. I'm just not gonna tell you.
Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office.
Cody the other one watching me? No,
He
Cody has
pretends
something
to be
else
dead.
he's doing probably.
Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
It was real blood, but there's blood in there.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
The one person who moved Taka's corpse is Taka himself, of course. He was still alive.
It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
I can.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
There's always more.
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
Could it be? I know what it is. So we have to go down here, and we have to do that.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole. Maybe we can escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else. For now, let's meet up in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
Ah,
Yes,
that's
Paul.
the one I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
Taka?
I got it!
Was Oh.
That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Just Like Jack is seriously scary, but still. I can't let her get to me.
right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Haki!
Oh, how do I switch?
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
No, that's wrong.
Good job, Brain, for working. I'm proud of you.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
Yeah, I know, it's
So,
amazing.
Taka was murdered.
Blackface
with the
just makes me
time
not
and
use my
place
brain.
Written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me.
But instead, you're all dead.
The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it? Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
So what, DV?
Huh? He stole it?
I don't know. He maybe,
Where's your
maybe he
proof?
didn't. Who
Go
knows?
ahead, show us.
Where is it?
I got it! When I searched Taka's
Who
body,
knows? Who knows?
I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from its death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
No, he isn't.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
Yeah, Hiro, he's dumb.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository, so he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus! Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
That's true.
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it.
Oh.
But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Neither.
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then...
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that actually used to kill Hifumi, the whole picture surrounding the case won't become clear until we figure that out. Some have to figure out the truth. Spotless hammer.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3?
No.
Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Yes.
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
Oh, didn't mean that one. I'm just a dummy.
What was used? Was it Justice? Maybe Justice?
Well,
whatever it is, one, how was the culprit? How did nobody witness? Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
There we go.
No, that's wrong. The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
The music's pretty good for Danganronpa. Like
And the
through and
reason
through.
it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off.
Oh.
I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Aha.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him.
Why would you think
The
that?
way the
Celeste?
graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder.
Oh, this is melting. My
So the idea
granola
that
bars.
anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
Did we not? We did talk about how they wouldn't have been any reason to anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
Okay. So I think I need to do the truth thing. Oh.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Oh, okay.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us,
even if more than one, only the one who actually can.
Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply
okay, so it's not that.
Shoot.
So we need
Based on the rules that have been,
even if more than one, only the one who actually. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply.
That is how the.
But that only really applies. In this case, however, there were two murders.
Okay, I understand this now.
Based on the rules that have been laid out,
even if more than only the one who actually. Assuming
the rule holds true.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
I have
Since there were two murders,
sliver of
it's
a heart
at least
left.
plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme.
Ah.
There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
Ooh. The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful! How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems...
Are you getting it now, Evie? You're understanding? The moment the effort made to convince the two murderers were the same, it was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she's really not look at this series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now!
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and in the end murdered him. No, she isn't. Any debates up to now, it was the case was unfold when you considered all that. The internet's lying to you if you looked it up, Evie. There really is only one person who seems to fit. Make your selection.
Here's my answer. It was
no, they
Celeste.
didn't.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him.
Yeah, but doesn't mean that she's a detective.
That I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you.
Yeah.
Considering what we've learned so far,
everything about her is
further
fake.
Proves that the two of you were working together.
What, the screaming.
Shoot!
What? That's not, that should have been right. That should have been right! I'm so dumb, apparently. Yeah, let's give it another shot.
To give up yet.
I swear it was. It should
Since
have
there
been
were
a scream.
2 murders, what?
Okay. Wow, it really set us further back than I thought it would. Countering
the behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
Wheeze?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the 2nd floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the 3rd floor,
she let out a blood-curdling scream.
And when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Sus, what's wrong? Oh, that was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off, so I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the
physics what about
lab,
it was nothing wrong with her face. She's been like that since this part. She's always like that. Oh. What was that? Came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office.
It was to get us to divide into 2 groups.
No, yeah,
So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Then why don't we split up into 2 groups? I'll lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Very well. Then Makoto and Hina, You'll come with me to the nurse's office. I'll leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on.
I don't want it.
That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing.
Oh.
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead.
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything, the whole thing was one big act.
Aw.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must be really enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of standing around frightened and confused. We're all gonna die here. We're gonna die. We're going to die, just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed, so Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the 4 of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Didn't know.
Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Baka said that Celeste's comments about it making sense. I don't know what you mean, but what is he alluding to? Make your argument. Mako style 3. I don't think this is gonna...
All I said was... They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
But she said should only have known about Fumi's death. With that in mind, what's so strange about what she said? I'm trying to figure out what I need to hit.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and they must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die.
Just like those guys died.
So this? So... I'm trying to think here.
All I said was... They must really be enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die.
Just like those guys died.
Do I need this?
And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
All I said was... They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused.
Like, I don't know exactly what I need.
Shoot.
Okay, I have to think about this.
All I said, they must really be enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die. Just like those guys died.
It has to be...
And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes.
Do I? Oh, I think I need...
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
I think I need this.
All I said, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be... We are going to die.
Just like those guys died.
Yep, okay.
No, that's wrong. That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
I don't think you are.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen.
I knew what I needed to use it. I just didn't know what I needed.
So how did you know, Celeste?
I had
how
to
did you know
grab
more than
the right...
one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys?
Don't do that. You never played
Kyoko
Final
had
Fantasy with
also
me.
disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It's obvious, it's all an act.
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on, and then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away.
No, it's
If
not.
everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
Yeah.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanation? If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, the only other option is Hifumi is dragging the suspect away.
It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
So this thinks she can prove there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away? But is this really possible? Oh. Make your argument! Robo Justice costume... Blueprints. It has to be the blueprints, right?
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out!
Oh, not this.
Then you just draped me across and you tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
It has to be blueprints. That has to be right. That should have been right.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out.
I don't know why.
Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright.
Made out of cardboard.
If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
She said it could have been at the waist.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out!
Oh, so... freak. I actually
then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
I don't know why my frames are actually
like I
just
said, ridiculous.
dying on me.
As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up.
Oh, I thought it did something with the blueprints.
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Aha.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
Oh yeah.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Oh. Look at her. Jeez.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Oops. Oh, this is like... oh no, it's all falling apart. My freaking granola bar. It's melting.
Checkmate?
God. Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna have to throw out the garbage after this. Oh, jeez. Really? I can see it. You just hate us, don't you? You just don't want to do Titania with us. Why is this falling apart so quickly?
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Oh god.
Celeste? Clearly!
No, you won't.
You want to cram me into your little guilty box? Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying? When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not?
Dude, she's breaking.
He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
Yasuhiro?
In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Jeez.
Wait, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
Taro.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
I got it!
Use people's last
That's
name.
right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example.
Naegi?
So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
Hagakure?
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal.
Using this gamble, Celeste.
But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you?
Yeah.
Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Fine. Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste still won't give up then. I have to do something to make her accept it. I thought it would have been something else. E-handbook.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
Oh, I didn't want that.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
it would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is... Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to control...
Oh, I hit the wrong button. Oh my god! This...
truth there is! Moron!
That should have hit.
He wanted us to know the killer's life. If there's one person,
it would have to be you, Celeste.
How many times?
Celestia Ludenberg!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me...
Yeah, we do.
No, that's wrong. That's it. The handbook.
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
Oh. Yeah, we know it. Stop showing me Monokuma.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Dang, Naegi. I'm proud of you. Okay, so we have a lot of things. Okay, some of these don't even... So it has to be... What, this one right here? Put that there. One name right there. I don't know what the chips have to do with anything. That right there. So Justice Hammer 4 will go right here. And then this would go right there. So we got that one. I think the next one is Justice Hammer 3? I don't know why the backpack would have... Oh, no, wait, never mind. It's not number 4. No, it is number 4. Never mind. Maybe, I don't know. I could be wrong about that one. We get Justice Hammer 2. Justice Hammer 3. Oh. Right there. And then last but not least, right there.
Here's exactly what happened.
Probably is correct. I hope it's correct.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
What? Excuse me? Oh, I have these two mixed up, I guess?
The killer is... you!
What?
First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that.
Oh no, I got it right. Okay. Whew.
While we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is... Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
Complete.
I lost? I lost?
So much for being the ultimate gambler.
When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person
Once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Dang. Ooh, 90.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote, okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What?
It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The blackened this time, and the true killer who deceived the whole stinking scheme was Celeste Ludenberg, or more precisely, Teiko Yoshihiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's impudent was beyond all my calculations. Or impudent.
I knew it.
So, you really did approach Hifumi with this plan, but how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would be happily agree to commit a murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I don't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then...
Then did you use, you know... I knew you would figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice,
Indeed.
I used her. For everyone else who's still left, I avoid mentioning it by name. But it was the only thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Does she mean she's talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What? What are you talking about?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop as usual. How sad.
In other words...
Then you're the one that stole it.
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. So, what are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping we could talk to you, I was hoping I could talk to you alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What?
What?
are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it. What?
So then...
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I showed it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him! But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got in closer. You're correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
What?
As for me...
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh.
He did?
As for me...
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
What?
What? And he took pictures. He said if I don't do it as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime. An absolute crime. I mean, I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but
Say what?
I never imagined he would go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I never said before in my life.
Completely unforgivable.
I'm going to kill him. I'm going to fucking kill him.
Most unfortunate.
Wait, please. If you go now, you'll be playing right into his hands. Huh?
Actually,
Taka is planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean... Taka's going to kill you. Or try to kill you. What?
indeed.
And also he could keep her to himself. That bastard.
Unforgivable. Completely unforgivable.
Bastard.
Honestly.
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How could I? She...
I swear I will save her!
Actually...
Then would you like to join me? It just so happens I've come up with a plan. I devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete. What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Ifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love. Even if love is as twisted as that, it can still drive people mad. It would seem... You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Ifumi's creation?
Indeed.
Yeah. It was a real pain in the butt too. All I asked him to do was to do something to hide the face of a general body size. I had no idea he would make something like that. But it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But...
So why did you decide to make me as a suspect? Because you're stupid. Poor hero. That's it.
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice, so I'm glad your stupidity surpassed even my expectations. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry.
Well.
But when you were explaining your plan to Ifumi, how did you explain the part to him playing dead? What she was asking, what was Ifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you actually let him live?
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part to pretend to be dead, when someone showed up, I told him to say he's been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but just barely held on. And he really believed that? Well, of course. That was all there was to it. As I explained it to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have had an alibi and nobody could have doubted him. I told him that and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical. It just matched the lie up to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
So in the end...
So you planned to kill him all along. But of course! There would have been no point of my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well...
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about
No,
that.
he deserves his pleasure, or he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million dollars Monokuma offered? That is a lot of money. It's true, but it's not. That's not all there is to it. For a moment, our new life began. My only thought has been escape.
But
for how long you've been saying we have to accept living here?
You little bitch!
Obviously, that was a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. The more anyone, more than anyone else in here.
You little bitch!
I wanted to get out. Every day was a fresh torture. And do you want to know why, huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could have ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me...
And it was all for that dream. And what was that dream of yours?
Isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle? And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butler / bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires to satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made the dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but
there is nothing to be done.
Unfortunately, my dream has been shattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh.
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That is a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
Do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying. And plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled. To take pride in that, it's not just other people. I even fooled my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why I'm not scared.
Yes, indeed.
That's right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice, then...
Isn't it wonderful?
I think it would come back as a marine antoet? Or marine antoet.
Hey.
You just get executed again. So I smiled then. And when she did, it looked to me like poor effort to force it. She claimed she could feel her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak fake smile, is what betrayed her.
Thrills, chills, kills!
You all done? Okay, then let's get rolling. The blackened disturbed the peace and must pay the price.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For her, the ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this.
What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again, in another life.
Look, there's the European castle she wanted. The burning of the versatile witch. It's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friends, so I can't pity her, but I also cannot deny at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys still are you guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Jeez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
Well, what do I care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all an embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but that's reality. I just can't avoid it. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you going to make us keep going through this? What do you want from us? God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see some kind of key type object from Celeste?
Hey! Hey!
So what's the deal with that?
What?
Huh? What's the matter?
So then...
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
You...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
What?
Hey.
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh.
Oh man,
exciting.
Oh man, oh jeez. What do you mean, what did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kind of awkward, so I think it's about time I got out of here.
Well?
Yeah, he is the lewd bear. He's always will be and will be for the rest of the series. Meanwhile, you guys can go enjoy your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
See ya later!
Monokuma disappeared, leaving all of us depressed and in despair. Although, it wasn't all despair. There was one small hope. Hey Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key that Celeste gave you?
So...
Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
Oh, what does that mean? So that's probably hidden in there.
Hey.
I suppose sometimes it's easy as to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we'd better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. Do we save here? Can we save? Okay. We left the courtroom in a rush to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back to us and said,
"Hey,
I'm going to go in alone from here. Everywhere else, head to the dining hall and I'll check in with you later."
What?
Why? Exactly are you going alone?
So...
Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly to the surveillance camera.
Come on.
That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still no risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please let me go. Standing here arguing is just to draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Whatever. Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
Well then.
Then it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? Huh? So Mako and Kyoko are going to go together? Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. I tried to forget what he had said. Everyone headed to the dining room, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Well, shall we? Yeah.
So then...
we need to get into that locker. Coco took her keys Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker room. And the locker swung open, we saw...
You really came!
Good morning. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. I never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. Yes, most likely Monokuma, if found out about Alter Ego and what it was doing, it would, Monokuma would destroy it. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word, I stayed quiet the entire time. Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please just wait just a while longer. So now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as the incident is concurred, but sure. But can we take a sec since we have the opportunity? I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do on your own here at the school? Is that why you wanted to come with me?
However...
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know? That just makes me even more worried.
What?
Worried? Like what happened during the investigation this time? You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. Well, when you do that,
Indeed.
It's only natural to think that I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too. No. I believe you.
What?
You believe in me? Isn't it obvious people believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then...
That's fine.
Fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see... What I heard from Kyoko then was... Well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believed in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she told me with my own two eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come. And when it did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or a monitor in it. And the storage room closet there, way in the back. She said it was way in the back of the boys' bathroom's storage closet, but Could Kyoko really be right about this? Ooh, 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 ooh. It's just a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. The secret Kyoko told me about, could it really be hidden in here? She said it was way in the back of the storage room closet. But, I mean seriously. Without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the storage room and then suddenly, as if it was being yanked in. Oh. At that same time, I heard a sound and I fell through the wall. I had no idea what's going on. I have fallen through the back storage closet. Huh? It turned out the back wall was like a revolving door and it had made my way to the other side. Just like Kyoko had said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom there's a storage closet. And way in the back of the closet there's a secret room. So this is the secret room. But what's in here? There's a bunch of files that look like volume after volume of yearbooks. They've collected dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Hope Peaks Academy Student Registry. This is the only thing in here not covered in dust. Has someone been looking through it recently? I slipped the file into my hand. Before I had a chance to look at it, a slip of paper fell out of the file and I turned to my attention. What's this? You must not leave? That's kind of weird. I could understand it if you said I can't leave, but you must not leave? What is this? My head feels funny. The strange sensation. It's like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before, but I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? A strange sound rang through my head. It felt as if it was shaking my brain back and forth, and then darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over. And with that, I opened my eyes. I didn't know how long it has been. Ow. Apparently, something hit me and I lost consciousness. That's all I understood. The dull throbbing pain in my head proved that much, at least. An empty bookshelf. Huh? Empty? Gone. It's all gone. The yearbooks are the student registry, and even the note that has fallen on the floor. It's all gone. What does this mean? But my brain refuses to do any more work. The insistent pain in my head began to spread across the rest of my body. For now, I should go back to my room. Get some rest. My body was heavy with pain, my mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself towards my room. Somehow I made it back to the first floor of the school. The further I walked, the more I felt. Things became blurry, I can't see what's in front of me. I couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there. And after that... As if from a vast distance, I heard a sound. It was faint, but undeniable. That sound. It's coming from the gym. As I desperately hauled my shaky frame toward the gym, the sound got stronger and stronger. What's going on? It can't be nothing. Here, in the gym? Tom unknown. I didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. The sound coming from inside me while only intensified that much more. before me, there was a rage battle beyond anything humanly possible. No, one side's not human, that's for sure, but regardless, I couldn't stop staring. I forgot to move, or even breathe.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
The deal?
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay. But you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? Then could it be the mastermind spy is... the next generation legend, stand tall. Oh, well, this is stuck on that. To be continued. Although we got Super Robo Justice. But yeah, we're gonna save. We're gonna save right here. And with that, we shall end today's first stream here. Alright? I guys hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I will be streaming again today later on. Like 7 o'clock-ish or something. I'll be playing some Minecraft. Probably by myself. I don't know yet. I might get a few people into a server or something like that. But we'll be playing with Feed the Beast mods. I don't really like vanilla that much. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's first stream, and hope to see you guys in the second stream. I'll probably be streaming around 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So hope to see you guys there. But as always, this is Rollout Dino. Thank you for watching the stream. See you next time.